Good afternoon. You're tuning in to the Health and Wellness Hour right here on the People Station with your favorite gerontologist, Dr. Macie Smith. Now, November is one of my most favorite months of the year, not only because we celebrate Thanksgiving, but because it's National Family Caregivers and Alzheimer's Awareness Month, two topics very near and dear to my heart. Our guest today shares the same exact sentiments. Today in the studio with us is one of my most favorite actresses in Hollywood to date. I'm talking about Tina Lifford. If you don't know who Tina Lifford is, let me run down her credits real quick. She is a Hollywood veteran, right? She's played in over 100 characters in her long-standing career, most notably known for her role as the vivacious Aunt Vi on the critically acclaimed television drama Queen Sugar, one of my favorite shows. Tina has starred opposite of Clint Eastwood, Jennifer Lopez, Bruce Willis, and the list goes on and on. But now outside of acting, she is the author of The Little Book of Big Lies. Can't wait to hear about that. She is a visionary thought leader. She is the strategist and architect behind the Inner Fitness Project. As an author and speaker, Tina fosters the idea that we can all live well and thrive. Welcome to the show today, my dear.
Oh, Dr. Macie, it's so nice to be here.
I am excited to have you here. And I have to say this. I am thinking about Aunt Vi's pies. And I'm saying Aunt Vi because you are everybody's aunt on Queen Sugar. Now, do you bake for real?
I don't cook anything.
Oh,
So if you believed that I was a throwdown cook, then I did my job as an actress. I
well, you
come from a
did.
family of amazing cooks. And that's the good news and the bad news. Because when you come from a family, it started with my father, who was the best cook whose food I have ever eaten. And then it trickled through my dad to my mom, and then my older sister, who died a few years ago. That woman was magic in a kitchen, whether she was baking or cooking.
Mm.
So I grew up around really great food, and I never had to cook it.
Oh my God.
And cooking is, it's a passion like acting or anything else, right? It
Mm-hmm.
takes time. And I've never wanted to give that kind of time to cooking. So,
I understand you. I feel you because I can't cook and I'm not ashamed of it at
no,
all. Now,
no.
you said in terms of passion and time, and you're exactly right in terms of cooking, but that also rings true as a caregiver. Now, you are caring for your mom
Yep.
who is living with Alzheimer's disease. Tell us about where you are on your journey now with her.
I'm gonna I'm gonna start with the blessing.
Okay.
There are a couple of blessings in this. Number one is I have a sister partner.
Mm.
I'm gonna say it again. A sister partner.
Partner.
Now, my mom lives with my sister.
Mm-hmm.
So she actually gets the bigger lift, in the
Mm-hmm.
heavy lifting that goes in caregiving for this disease.
Right.
But I am so clear that the work requires all hands on deck,
That's right.
and that my sister deserves the support that she needs in the same way that my mom deserves the support she needs for all of the years that she has given to her children with love.
That's right. Let me put a pin in that for a second. When you talked about your sister and her being the hands-on soul 24/7 caregiver, there is a term called the invisible patient. Have you ever heard that term?
I have not.
Whereas the caregiver who is taking their loved one to the doctor is attending to the patient, but they're not even considering the needs of the caregiver.
Yeah.
And we often talk about the patient is only as healthy as the caregiver. So you giving your sister her flowers really does speak to that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's such an important partnership that I really wanted to highlight it because in so many families and stories that I've heard, there are family members who are okay with one family member doing the most,
Mm,
and I'm not okay with that. I understand the burden of that and my responsibility. So, what my partner and I have worked out is we have someone who comes in and takes care of mommy 6 hours a day, Monday through Friday,
mhm,
because my sister Pam works. She
mhm,
has a big job full of really, weighty responsibilities, and I work and have my responsibilities. So we had to agree that bringing someone in 5 days a week for those 6 hours was necessary for our lives,
mhm,
right? And we had to figure that out. And then with Pam, I do all of the doctor visits, because Pam is the person who, up until this other way that we figured out to support one another, Pam was the person who, whether she's on a Zoom call or not, if no one else is there, Pam has to stop, get mommy who is wheelchair bound to the bathroom. She's unstable,
mhm.
so you have to be incredibly attentive, you know, and 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 so what we have worked out is that I spend the night there at her house Wednesday, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, and then I come home at 6 o'clock Saturday afternoon. That gives Pam a life where she doesn't have to wake up in the middle of the night twice to take care of mommy. And, I too do the same thing.
Tina, you said something very powerful I want to talk about when we come back from break. Partnership and how important that is to a family living with Alzheimer's disease. We'll be right back. It's the People Station. Thank you for tuning in to the Health and Wellness Hour. We are still here chatting with Miss Tina Lifford. Tina, before we went to break, you talked about how you and your sister partner. I love that term, how you guys are partnering in your mother's care. And it's so funny that you said that. I wrote an article not that long ago, and I talked about partnering in your loved one's care, because when families call me and they get upset because Dante over there, he ain't doing nothing, and he live with mama, and Mary is up the street, she not doing anything. What happens is, and what I found in the work that I do, people don't do because they don't know what they're supposed to do. They think that they have to carry the load. And so how did you and your sister come to the terms where you all were able to basically maximize your strengths and put that to use for your mom?
Yeah, it's a great question. And it's it's a really simple answer, but one that gets overlooked often in relationships. I put myself in Pam's shoes.
Mm,
I put myself in Pam's shoes and thought of what it would feel like if my sleep was broken up
mm,
7 days a week, twice, in the middle of the night.
right.
And we know how important sleep is.
Yes.
I mean, it would have been easy, to just ignore putting myself in her shoes because I'm over here in my bed comfortable.
Mm,
I know my mom is well taken care of because Pam's going to give her everything she needs. But if I don't take that beat and consider my experience if I were Pam,
yeah.
then I am not only am I not a partner, I'm not loving.
Yeah.
I'm not aware.
That's right.
I'm not being considerate. And all of that would be for selfish reasons,
That's right.
right? And
Yeah.
so, would it be nice to be able to offload all of that? I mean, there are times when it's a lot of work. And the hardest part is those moments when mommy is in her cantankerous phase, where she is arguing and resisting everything. Those moments are like nobody needs them in their life.
Right. Right. I totally get that. But we do know, that that's a part of the disease
That's
process.
right.
So knowing and
That's
being
right.
able to anticipate, then
That's
it
right.
helps you to better
That's right.
plan. We were talking offline, and there's one thing that you talked about when your mama wanted that egg McMuffin from McDonald's, right? Because we know it's all about their reality,
Yeah.
right? And so you gotta weigh the benefits and the risk. We talk about picking your own battle. How often do you and your sister have to pick your own battle with your mom, and how do you actually manage, when she gets into a point where I don't ever call them behaviors, well, when her responses become to be challenging or disturbing?
Yep, absolutely. And um, I think that what you've just done in terms of paying attention to language is huge, right? It's so important because our language actually winds up supporting our mindset.
Mm,
Right?
yeah.
It's if we get in the habit of using language that is appropriate for the disease, then when the human part of us gets activated because this little lady is being so, mean or hard to deal with or challenging, the language helps me breathe
Mm,
and just remember why I'm here. I'm
mm,
here because I love my mom. I'm here because my mom deserves my care. I'm here because I wouldn't want anyone else caring for her in these moments
yeah.
because I know these moments are challenging and I don't want someone else to snap.
Mm,
My mom deserves great care.
I
And
love that.
so it becomes incumbent upon me to manage those moments when now let's be honest, there are moments that I just roll my eyes,
you,
behind
you
behind
but mamas, they can see, they got eyes in the back of their head.
I will roll my eyes sometimes behind her back, but at the center of my being, I can honestly say that there is love and there is great awareness of what phase we are in and what is required.
I love that. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, Tina, I want you to tell our listeners just a little bit more about your inner fitness project in your book, because I feel like, just how your mama raised you and your experiences now helps you to even build those platforms even bigger and better and more impactful. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and thank you for sticking it out with us on the Health and Wellness Hour right here on the People Station. We are still chatting with the beautiful Tina Lifford. Tina, tell us about the Inner Fitness Project.
The Inner Fitness Project is a movement, inner health and well-being movement that I officially started in 2011. And it recognizes that we each have the responsibility and the ability to proactively address our internal selves,
Mm,
to strengthen our inner self, our thoughts, feelings, emotions, beliefs, reactions, and actions, to strengthen our ability to show up strong, resilient, and flexible in the same way that we have given so much attention to our physical
mm,
fitness. But physical fitness, though it has been, confirmed as a major important component in every sort of health direction, it is not any more important than our inner fitness. And it's time that we give the same kind of attention to making sure that we are strong and fit inside that we give to being strong and fit physically.
I love that. How can we learn more about the Inner Fitness Project?
Well, there are a couple of ways. Follow me across all social media channels at Tina Lifford, TINALIFFORD. I wrote a book that has done well. Forbes put it on its must-read list in 2021. The book is titled The Little Book of Big Lies. And in that book, a lie is defined as anything, any experience we have ever had in our lives that left us feeling less than, not good enough, or separated from ourselves. Any idea or thought that left us disconnected from ourselves is a lie.
Mm.
And it is time that we take our power back from those lies. So if your parents were unfortunately not educated enough or prepared enough to give you the kind of nurturing you needed, and you wound up feeling less than, not good enough, if a teacher told you that you couldn't and weren't, capable or worthy, if there was a boyfriend or an experience that left you feeling less than, those are lies.
Mm.
And what we must begin to do to honor ourselves and to go back to the earlier part of our interview, to partner with ourselves, is to begin to challenge that lie with greater truths. And one of the core truths is God don't make junk, right? And that core truth means that in our hands are the tools and the skills necessary to meet the lie with truth. So one of the things that I share with people as an acronym is I call it crewing up, where we begin to tell ourselves in the midst of challenges that no matter how it's been up until now, it can change for the better going forward. That opens us up and makes us at least available to the idea that past pain does not have to be forever pain. And then the acronym it says that we are innately, this is not something that we have to earn. This is the case. Every person is born creative, resilient, empowered to choose, whole, and worthy. And when you begin to challenge yourself, and in the midst of challenge, remember, okay, I am creative enough to design and redesign my life, resilient enough to weather any storm, empowered to choose and re-choose and choose again my thoughts, my reactions, my feelings, and to know that we would not be here if we didn't belong here. So we are innately worthy and we are whole because we have the ability to choose anew at any point. So when we honor ourselves like that, the up part of the acronym crew up, we unleash possibilities that are inside of us, but haven't yet been seen because we weren't taught to look for them.
Well, we all got a little lesson today because you have blessed my entire soul with just that. So we appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much for spending some time with us and dropping some great gems that we'll be able to take forward. And thank you all for listening. To learn more about the Health and Wellness Hour, or if you want to be a guest to share with us about your services or your products, WOCS937 at gmail.com. That's WOCS937 at gmail.com. It's the People Station.